Hey there guys, it's Ben Hidalgo here from Holeshot Fitness. Thanks for tuning in for our nutrition video, Back to Basics, where I'm going to be running you through what's a calorie, all about your BMR and things like that. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. Now, starting off with what is a calorie? So a calorie is measured as 1 unit of energy. Now, calories refer to the amount of energy we consume through food and from drink. And think of calories as kind of like the fuel for your car and how much fuel your car needs to have a full tank. It's basically the same way our body works with how many calories our body needs to function. Now, we get our calories from food, but these foods are grouped into macronutrients, and most foods contain more than one macronutrient. So, for example, a slice of bread will contain some carbohydrates and some protein and very little fat content, but other foods such as red meat are high in protein, contain 0 carbs, and also contain a little bit of fat. So there's usually a combination in each food, but most foods are majority ranking in one macronutrient versus the other, and therefore are categorized as that style of food. But protein contains 4 calories per gram, carbohydrate also contains 4 calories per gram, fat contains 9 calories per gram, and alcohol, which isn't really a macronutrient but also gives us 7 calories per gram. That's an important one to remember. Now, our BMR and your basal metabolic rate is directly linked to the total amount of lean body mass or lean muscle mass that you carry. Now, your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, determines the total amount of calories that your body needs at rest to maintain your current body weight. So imagine if you were in a coma, just your body to exist the way that it is right now, your BMR is the total amount of calories it needs to do to achieve that. Now, the only way to increase your BMR or increase your metabolism, increase your metabolic rate, is to increase your lean body mass. Now, I'm talking about a permanent increase. There are ways that you can temporarily boost your metabolism or temporarily increase your metabolic rate, but permanently, the only way to do that is by adding more muscle or lean body mass, and the only way to increase your lean body mass is with regular strength training at least 2 to 4 times per week. Now, when it comes to calculating your BMR, first you need to know your weight and your body fat percentage. You're then going to multiply your body fat percentage by your body weight to give you your total amount of fat mass. So for example, you're 70 kilos at 24% body fat. You'll punch that into the calculator as 70 times 0.24, and that equals 16.8 kilos of fat mass. We're then going to subtract your fat mass from your total weight. So 70 kilos minus 16.8 kilos of fat mass gives us 53.2 kilos of lean body mass. Now, to calculate your BMR, simple equation of 370 plus, in brackets, 21.6 multiplied by your lean body mass, which for this equation was 53.2, and that there equals 1,519 calories. Okay, that's this person's basic BMR if they were to be in a coma and just had to exist. That's not including any exercise or anything like that. Now, inside the Facebook page, the Holeshot Fitness private Facebook group, there is a BMR calculator that you can go ahead and download. All you've got to do is punch in your weight and your body fat, and it does the rest for you. Now, deciding on your activity level. This is a tricky one because a lot of us tend to overestimate how active we actually are. Now, for those of us that work behind a desk for 8 hours per day and exercise between half an hour to an hour a day, that's classed as being lightly active. If you work a job that requires you to be spending most of the day on your feet, such as a salesperson, working in retail or childcare, maybe at a car wash thing, or in a kitchen or a cafe where you're constantly moving around and you still exercise half an hour to an hour a day, you'd be classed as moderately active. If you're working a manual labor job such as bricklaying or concreting, working in a commercial kitchen as a chef or a kitchen hand, running around for long hours at a time, and you're still exercising half an hour to an hour per day, that'd be classed as being highly active. Now, what that means is to determine your total calorie needs for the day, we need to incorporate your BMR, which we did earlier on, versus your activity level. Okay, so if this person I'm using as an example, 70 kilos at 24% body fat, works a desk job, so her BMR was 1,519 calories multiplied by her activity level, which is lightly active, and we're going to stay to the lower end of that decimal point, which is 1.1. We're going to multiply those two together, and that gives us 1,670. All right, 1,670 calories is the total amount that this person would need to maintain their current weight and body fat levels. Now, if you were moderately active, you'd multiply it by 1.3. If you were highly active, you'd multiply that by 1.5. Now, the only reason there's a little bit of a deviance there, so 1.1 to 1.2, and some options for activity levels there. Some people can underestimate and overestimate. So say for athletes and whatnot, they would be on the higher end of the decimal point, whereas the rest of us would be down at the lower end. All right, moving on. So weight loss and weight gain, it takes around 7,200 calories to burn off 1 kilo of fat mass. All right, so you'll need to create a calorie deficit of 500 to 1,000 calories per day to total between 3,500 to 7,000 calories per week in order to lose between half a kilo to 1 kilo per week. All right, the best way to do this is with a combination of exercise and calorie restriction from food and drink. So taking a step back for a second, it doesn't matter where the calories come from. They could come from eating an apple, or it could come from eating a Mars bar. Now, apple's obviously much healthier than a Mars bar, but our body doesn't know the difference, okay? It can only tell how many units of energy that it's receiving and then what to do with those units of energy or those calories. In order to lose weight, we need to burn off between 3,500 to 7,000 calories, to lose half a kilo to a kilo a week. It doesn't matter where that's coming from, but we want to try and combine them with regular exercise and calorie restriction from your food and drink intake. Now, don't drink your calories, okay? We tend to remember much more of what we eat than what we drink. And this can be quite devastating on our overall calorie intake and bring our weight loss to a screeching halt, in the sense that you may need to be in a calorie deficit and eat 1,200 calories a day with a combination of exercise to lose that 1 kilo a week. But if you're forgetting about the 2 lattes you have throughout the day, which can be anywhere to 150 to 200 and something calories each, depending on if you get flavoring or whatnot, you might be consuming an extra 500 or 600 calories just from the 2 extra coffees you're having a day. So you think you're eating 1,200, you're getting an extra 600 from coffee, that's 1,800 total calories, and your BMR's 1,700, you're eating above what you should be, and you're forgetting that you're drinking these calories. So in your mind, you're doing the right thing by eating less, but you're drinking your calories, and that's not causing any weight loss, which is not what we want. So avoid drinking your calories by cutting back on coffee, tea, eliminating fruit juices, soft drinks, and cordials, regardless of whether they say low sugar or not. We want to cut back on those. Black coffee and plain tea will be fine. They're quite low in calorie, but that's when we add the milk and add the sugar and the flavors to coffees and things that we start to bulk them out with calories, which is something we want to try and avoid. So if you do consume them, just remember to add them into your daily calorie consumption, all right? If you've got 500 calories from coffee, 800 calories from food is going to give you a total of 1,300. But 800 calories worth of food is like being on a starvation diet. So you're better off eating more, drinking less. Now, creating a calorie deficit. So where to go once you've found out your BMR and how much calories you actually need to burn to lose weight. So by restricting calories from 1,600 down to 1,270 from food and drink, you can make a 400 calorie per day deficit, all right? Now, you need to follow this 1,270 calorie day allowance per day. Now, that's a total of your food and your drink is to total 1,270 calories. Then by burning a further 400 to 600 calories from exercise, you can achieve a greater calorie deficit, which will result in more weight loss. So if you're to burn 400 calories through your workout and you're to minimize 400 calories from food, there's 800 calories a day, and over the week that's going to add up, and that's going to lead to some significant weight loss if you maintain those efforts consistently over a period of months. Now, weekend blowouts will ruin your progress 100%, being that a calorie deficit's not something you can do 2 to 3 days a week and expect to lose weight from that one small instance, okay? Your total weekly intake will determine your overall weight loss. So if you're staying within that 1,270 calories worth of food and drink Monday to Friday, and then overindulge on the weekends and blow out to maybe 1,600 to 2,000 calories over the weekend, like on a Saturday and again on a Sunday, that's going to hugely negatively affect your weight loss efforts. And it's quite easy to do. We go out for dinner, we have an entree, you might get a creamy pasta or something for your main meal. The portion sizes are quite large and those meals are quite calorie dense. You might have a couple of alcoholic drinks. It's quite easy to eat between 700 to 1,000 calories in a restaurant quality meal. It's quite easily done. So you've just got to be aware of exactly what you're eating and keep track of how much you're eating. Now, think of it as a savings account, okay? If you spend all you've got during the week and then you go to the bank and bank a couple of $100 worth of cash, come Monday, you're still going to have some money left in your account. And that's the way calories in your body works. You might burn a lot Monday to Friday, but if you're over consuming them Saturday, Sunday, it's going to add some more back to that account and give you some extra calories stored as body fat. So this is the same, it goes exactly the same as calories in versus calories out. You need to lose weight successfully, you need to be in a calorie deficit 90% of the time. It is okay to have a blowout every once in a while, and sometimes they are needed, but maybe once a fortnight, once a month tops. Any more frequently than that, and you're going to really struggle to lose weight consistently. Now, putting it all together. So what we want to do, step one, go ahead and create a free account on MyFitnessPal. Now you can go to www.myfitnesspal.com, or you can download the MyFitnessPal app on your phone. Now step two is start tracking your daily food intake and how much calories you're consuming through liquid as well, so your daily food and drink intake, including Saturday, Sunday, and get a better idea of how much food you're actually eating and how many calories you're actually consuming throughout the whole week. All right, now step three from there, you want to download the BMR calculator from inside our Holeshot Fitness private group files section. So if you're on your computer, at the top of the page, there's a little box where you can write a status. There's a couple of options at the top there. So status, photo, there's ask a question, and then there's add files or files. You want to click the file section, and there's a couple of preset meal plans in there already, as well as the BMR calculator. Download that, pump your details in there, and then that'll give you some numbers to work with. Now, step four, you want to aim to restrict your calories by 500 per day from food and drink. So this refers back to step two. If you're, at the moment, if you're eating 2,000 calories per day, and maintaining your weight, or over the last kind of 12 months you've gradually put on 5 kilos or whatnot, if we bring that from 2,000 down to 1,500 calories a day and aim to burn between 400 to 800 calories per day from exercise and regular strength training, you're going to see some consistent weight loss. All right, if I just go ahead and give you a number off the top of my head for you to eat 1,200 calories, eat 1,500 calories, it may not be as effective as finding out exactly what you're consuming right now versus how much your body needs in order to lose weight. Now, the only way to increase your BMR, which means allow your body to consume more calories without gaining fat, you want the higher BMR, the more food you can eat, all right? The only way to do that, as I said very early on in this short video, is by increasing your lean body mass through regular strength training. Now, strength training does not make women big and bulky. They do not have enough testosterone for that to happen. What we want to do is, when we're on a diet, our body will break down some muscle tissue and some body fat in order to lose weight. We want to try and maintain as much muscle mass as we have to achieve that lean and toned athletic look that we all desire. Sure, some of the guys will gain a little bit of muscle. They might bulk up a little bit around their arms, their shoulders, and their legs. But with the ladies, they don't have enough testosterone to achieve that muscle gain, all right? That whole bulking sensation, that'll come from fluid retention, and in terms of menstrual cycles and things, can make people feel bloated and puffy as well, all right? So just be mindful of what you ate the day before and how it makes you feel. If you have a high carb meal at night time and you wake up in the morning feeling bloated and puffy, you may need to reduce your carbohydrate intake, but the strength training won't give you that same effect. It'll make you feel better, it'll make you feel stronger, it'll give you more energy, and it'll increase your BMR, and it'll also increase the amount of calories you burn at rest. So you'll be able to lose more weight effectively by increasing your lean body mass. Now look guys, thanks for watching, and if you've got any other questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to email me at ben@holeshotpt.com, and I'll be more than happy to assist you. Thanks guys.